Can you hear me? Bangman.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I can hear you.
All right, cool. You ready?
Yeah, we're actually already live. I'm actually messaging somebody that's starting a pod. I guess they're starting a podcast, but they appear they've been co-hosts on they've like participated in multiple podcasts before in whatever capacity, and
Gotcha.
we'll see what we can do. They seem to be very level-headed. So
Do I know this person?
nope, not at all. It's just oh, it's from the Free Talk Live chat. But it was, I guess it was a Free Talk Live host, but I don't believe they are anymore. I don't know. Not quite sure what that's status of that show is. Don't care. I haven't cared in like 5 years. But um, they're
No, no. Hold on.
cre- they're a creator.
Can you hear that?
I heard something.
Yeah.
was
Hold on. I might need to change plans.
that feedback?
No. Neighbor just fired up a mower.
Oh shit. No, I don't think I heard that. Sounded like somebody's voice.
Really? Okay.
I just heard like no, no.
Yeah, they went around the other side of the house. I don't know what they're doing. Okay, shut it off. All right. Yeah, I was gonna say he just mowed his yard earlier, so
No shit. Okay, yeah. It's kind of
well, I'm ready to go if you are. We don't need to do an intro. This is a patrons only thing.
all right. Yeah. 3, 2, 1. Hey, Sec, we're back.
Hey man, how's it going?
Uh, it's going as always. Actually, pretty stressful, but I don't want to think about it now. I'm here recording. How are you?
I'm doing all right. Can't complain.
Yeah,
Well,
awesome,
we
awesome.
finally got ourselves a patrons only episode. So that'll be good.
Long time coming.
I know. Dude, I just been so fucking busy. Between that and your work schedule, it's been hard. So.
Yeah, I mean, it was briefly good. My work schedule was good for like 3 weeks, and then they had to change it to some other crap. So, and I,
I know
if we had known, we
that
would
would
have
have worked
recorded a
out.
bunch of episodes. Yeah, if we had known, we could have recorded a bunch of episodes, but it didn't work out that way. And now I'm back to the very difficult schedule for between you and I. We don't our free time doesn't coincide very much. Probably got to be a Saturday night thing like it is now.
We can probably do this.
Breaking the fourth wall here, because the podcast audience obviously doesn't know when this is being recorded, but Saturday night,
Saturday night. Yeah,
just like last week.
right. Well, I got a couple things to talk about. I kind of want to pick your brain on something too, but
Okay, great.
I've got to. But first, let me get some business out of the way. I've got kind of uh, an investment opportunity for our patrons. Can you hear that rooster or no?
I can, yes, it's adds to the ambiance.
Okay, perfect.
I can. It's very prominent. It's very prominent, actually. Yes, but that's cool. It goes with the whole vibe. So let's see.
It fits. It fits.
I could like
All
I
right.
could
Well,
like go
so
on Audacity and like highlight the rooster sound and then hit noise reduce and see if it cancels it out. But no, it sounds great.
okay, fine. Um. All right. So, as for the listeners, you all probably know I bought a.
Okay, sorry.
I can move, but it's
No,
just
no,
I'm
no, no. It's
outside.
fine. It's just I wonder if it's going to get old for the audience. But no, it's so fitting. That's what's so funny about it. That's why I think it's
If
funny.
he doesn't shut up, I'll go somewhere else. Oh, you fucker, man. Yeah. Let me go in the front yard. I'll go sit on the porch. It's just fucking. It's just hot and it's nice and shady back here. So
Yeah, tell
and
me about it.
everybody's sleeping in my house. My little one goes to sleep early, and my wife is pregnant, so she gets tuckered out pretty easy. So she's asleep already too. Well, neighbor's still got a bonfire going back there. Hopefully he knows that. Okay. All right, walking away from the rooster. Yeah, the sun's starting to go down. Maybe it won't be so warm on my front porch.
Yeah, I mean, breaking the fourth wall. Listen how great technology has our recording quality, and you're recording on is it a phone? I guess it's a phone, right?
Yeah, I gave up on my laptop. My laptop's kind of slow and pain in my ass, and it sounded pretty good on my phone the last few times, so I might
Yeah,
just
even
stick with
years
my
ago,
phone.
like phone microphones were particularly good. I mean, I'm sure sound is a little, recording, sound, audio. It's a little complicated. It's a lot. It's a lot more that goes into it other than being good or bad. But like, no, supposedly phone microphones are actually surprisingly good, especially given the standards we have in this podcast.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds as good as my uh the mic I got. The what do you call it? USB mic I got. So I don't
I
know.
couldn't tell.
Yeah. Um. So yeah. All right. I'm away from the rooster. All right. So the audience probably knows, but me and the wife bought a place end of last year, and we're setting up a farm. And my plan always was to have somewhat of a cooperative element to this. So, um, the way most cooperatives work is it's kind of open to the public, pitching some cash or whatever the thing, or some work to help with the upfront costs and the upfront labor and all that kind of stuff, and then you reap the rewards. So I'm going to do something similar, but this is something that is only going to be available to someone we know, or someone we know has to vouch for you. So I'm only going two people removed, if that makes sense. So I either got to know you, or somebody I know has got to know you and can vouch for you. So um, basically, my thought is you kick in some cash, um, each year. That helps me with the infrastructure, the capital I need to build infrastructure around here. And then you get benefits from that, ranging from basically all products that we produce off the property at right around cost, as close to cost as we can get it. And so that's going to include everything from like produce. Now, this is only going to work if you travel or you're close to me. So I've got another opportunity if you're not, but if you're a nomad or you travel a lot for work or whatever. For example, I got somebody who's like 3-4 hours away. They're going to come by like once a month, pick up food for their whole month, and then go home or whatever. So basically you kick in, and I can work with you, which there'll be a variety of like tiers, I guess, and the more you chip in, the more benefits you'll get out of it, ranging from like $250 a year to like 15 grand for a lifetime kind of situation. So let me know what you can afford, and I can let you know what kind of benefits you get from that. But we're talking like home goods, like my wife makes a variety of homemade soaps, bar soaps, liquid soaps, lots of vegetables, pickles. I mean, eggs out the ass, a variety of different kinds of meat, including turkey, meat birds, chicken, quail, quail eggs, turkey eggs, live rabbits if you want it, goat milk, and it's going to increase as time goes on. Since I'm not entirely set up this year and you're not going to reap the whole benefits, I'm basically going to give whoever signs up in this period of time that I'm setting up I'm going to basically give you 2 years for the price of one, kind of a situation, just so I just got the capital flow coming in. Um, so it's also like some of the higher tiers are going to include things like I'm going to have classes a couple times a year on different things around the homestead, you know, consultations, a variety of other benefits as well. It just kind of depends on what, you can afford to invest in this sort of thing. And anybody that knows me in these circles, goddamn, they know I'm a doer and I get shit done and I stand by my word, essentially. I always come through. So if anyone is interested in something like that, please reach out to me on the various social medias. You know where to find me. The second thing is going to be, we're going to set up like a mystery box to send out to a variety of people. There's a 25, 50, and $100 a month tier, paid up front by the year, and we just send you like a grab bag every month of a box of random stuff that we make here, and that's going to have to be things that we can mail, obviously. Um, again, soaps, tinctures, salves, probably some dry goods, seeds, some other things I can't really talk about here, like whatever we can ship. And my wife will throw a box together each month and then send it out to you. But again, the idea is to scare up some capital. So it would have to be like a year, kind of upfront thing. And then you get a mystery box every month with a variety of stuff. I mean, it might be, body butter and tooth powder one month and then something else the next, and so on. You get the idea. So if anybody's interested in that, again, reach out to me or my wife. So yeah, that's the opportunity. If anybody's into that, could definitely use the capital, because honestly, Trump fucked me a little bit with his tariffs. He turned a $150 roll of fencing into a $270 roll of fencing, because of all the tariff shit. So
Yeah.
So a little bit more capital would be nice. Also, when all that was going on and the market was real volatile, my business took a bit of a hit. I mean, I was fine. My bills were paid, but I didn't have the same, like normally March, April, Jesus Christ, March, April, that kind
Just
of time.
you can't escape the I was gonna say wildlife, but it's exactly the opposite of that. You can't escape
No,
the
kids and
animals.
dogs and animals everywhere. Yeah. I can go back
Animals.
inside. I just don't want to wake the kids up.
No, that's all good.
What was I saying? Oh, normally in, like, you remember you had a landscaping company. I don't know if it's the same for you, but March, April, I'm usually slammed with like maintenance and also like large scale, high dollar projects. And then
Yeah,
this
it's
year,
like I mean, I'll tell you how it worked for me. Like it was a wait list for
yeah,
slam with maintenance and
for
then a
sure.
wait list for everything else until you can get
Yep,
through your wait list through the summer. Like July, it would start
yep,
to be like catching up.
right. And then you're mowing. And for me this year, all the usual stuff happened, which paid the bills and stuff. But I didn't get as many of those like high dollar things. Everybody was like, let's hold off till fall. And I think it's because um, a lot of my customers, they're wealthy folks. Um, so they're wrapped up in the stock market. And when the stock market was real volatile there and the tariffs might have happened, um, they were just, they're holding off on spending any real money. So I didn't have the same capital I normally expect at that time of the year. So I'm still plugging away at building this farm here, but I could definitely, use the investment if anybody's into that. I think it'd be really worth somebody's while, especially if you're either in this area, or I know a lot of nomad folks that just travel around in vans that this would be very ideal for. Um, so, but yeah, that's the business aspect. There's a weird bird. There's a weird
I've
bird.
heard a few different species there. Yeah.
Well, you hear my goats, but I hear a bird above me, and I don't
No,
know
I
what
heard the
kind of
bird.
bird it
I
is.
heard the bird
Yeah,
first, and I was like, "Oh man, there's another bird." He just went from one
yeah,
side of the house to escape one bird, and then there's another bird.
yeah. I don't
And it's
know
like,
what kind of
"Chirp, chirp."
bird that is either. I can hear it, but I can't see it, even though it sounds like it's right above me. Um, but yeah, welcome to my fucking farm. You know what I'm saying? Like, so, um, we're already producing way more than we can possibly eat, and we're upgrading all the time. You know, um, I put up a lot of fencing already, but I kind of put it on hold to wait to see if the price would come back down on fencing. And I've been doing some other things, putting in some beds and that. Um, so, uh, yeah. So if anybody's down for that, that's enough of that. But this kind of brings me to a related topic, which is what I wanted to talk to our patrons about, right? So, and I don't know quite how to explain this in a simplistic and coherent way. But all right, so all of us, we all know about investing in Bitcoin and gold, and I don't know, bullets, you know what I mean, and all that kind of stuff, heavy precious metals, and we do that to avoid inflation, right? To store our wealth, and we try to buy when it's low, and that way we get the most value out of it. And if you're into buy sell, you buy low, sell high, obviously. But here's like a thing that I've been thinking about for a long time, and I don't quite know how to explain it. And let me know what you think about this. But so what I see every time like the egg prices go up, people rush out and buy chickens. But that's like the worst time to buy. You're buying high. You know what I'm saying? Like, uh, it might be something to consider to, and it doesn't. I'm going to talk about food as food production as an example, but it could be a lot of other things. But if you set yourself up or acquire the skill to produce things that are often subject to like price volatility, like eggs, or like other home goods, or affected harshly by inflation, when you set those things up, you're buying all of that infrastructure at a much lower cost. Whereas if you wait for egg prices to go up and then you buy all the material, your chicken coop and your chickens, you're paying much more for them. So to give you an idea, like when egg prices were high, it didn't matter to us. We had plenty of eggs, and that saved us a lot of money. And, we were beating inflation by producing things here ourselves. Now, when egg prices are low, considering like the price we pay for feed and stuff, it's probably a wash. Um, in terms of like a dozen eggs versus what we put into that, we're probably still we're still paying less for eggs, and they're a much higher quality egg. Um, but the same thing with, I don't know, tomatoes, berries, whatever the thing is, jelly. Like I'm using food things as an example, but it could be whatever um, you're into. Learn how to produce it yourself, have that skill, so then when inflation does hit, because they're devaluing our dollar, you've already got it, you've already got the ability to produce it, and now you're saving yourself money. You're essentially, what I'm saying is you're storing value by learning skills and producing your thing, producing things. For example, like my wife makes our laundry detergent, and she makes it at home. It costs very little to make, and it doesn't have all these like harmful uh, dyes and scents and stuff in it. And it costs like nickels compared to buying laundry detergent. So when prices of things went way up over these past couple of years of groceries and whatever, man, we're probably still paying fucking $600-800 a month in groceries. Um, so when all that went up, we were already making a lot of the stuff, a lot of things ourselves, like soaps and detergents and all that kind of stuff, but also like food. So this might be. Does any of this make sense to you so far? Did I lose you?
Yeah, I'm following you.
Okay, cool. I mean, this might be like, I don't know, learn how to turn a wrench on your vehicle, because if you do that now and buy the tools now, when prices go up again and your bills go up and you got to save a little bit of money, I mean, you bring your vehicle to a mechanic, it's $80 to $100 an hour. So if you learn those skills,
Wow, 80 to 100. Not on my vehicle. It's 150 at work. That's not. Let's not go into that.
well, yeah,
It's
it's higher where
150
you're at,
there.
then.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's wild.
So, um, exactly. So, I mean, if you can learn how to do that stuff and buy yourself a set of tools when things are cheap before the, inflation continues, um, you're storing value by doing that, is what I'm saying. As much as you would, even if you're buying gold or silver or Bitcoin, you know what I mean? Like, if you learn how to change your brakes or, change a starter or whatever it is, you're saving yourself $150 an hour in your area, which if, inflation increases and your, money's getting tighter, you've basically got value stored to be able to do that. So I think this sort of thing is as important, if not more so, than, buying Bitcoin and gold.
Yeah, I suppose so. I mean, well, considering you can pay to learn how to do things. I mean, you can basically say the knowledge of how to do things. You can't really monetize it, but you can certainly ascribe some vague value to it.
Wait, did I lose you again?
No, I'm here. Did you hear me?
Yeah. Say what you said again.
Oh, I said, considering that you can obviously pay to learn how to do stuff, take courses and whatnot, that you can definitely, I don't know if you can describe it a precise monetary value to know-how or knowledge, but you can it certainly has some kind of vague value to it. Of course, I mean, I mean, not just in the business section where your labor or you. I guess it would be considered if you're going to consider yourself as a business like I guess it's a capital good. I guess it's a capital good. Yeah, I mean basically if you want to just extrapolate your own personal economy as a business, which I just realized I didn't say the first time, but yeah, I think you could actually absolutely see it that way. Um, and I mean you can't necessarily infinitely store away knowledge. Um, Without like actually doing things. You can't just watch 100 YouTube videos and learn how to do everything, and then never actually and only do a handful of those things. And then when the time comes, boom! Well, I watched that video. But if you are obviously judicious about it, you can do that as well as the fact that I can just tell you from experience. I mean, I can just tell you, I've looked at, I don't know have any mechanical skills at all or anything on the like, and I can just go on YouTube and find just nearly infinite variations of all sorts of things, of troubleshooting, of repairs, of all sorts of mechanical work on every little model and subvariant of everything that exists. And the fact that, I mean, I just try to think like, what is the economic value of this? It's priceless. YouTube, I mean, YouTube just alone as a resource in terms of learning how to do things that often stuff like repairs, essentially repairs and modifying stuff. That the kind of know-how that of the aggregate of like years of people uploading these videos to YouTube for no like personal gain or profit, really, just for the love of the game, really, just to share their experience with others and help people out, um, is priceless. It really is. And there's forums and forum posts, and obviously, I mean, that's always been around for a really long time. But just the fact that you can watch a video, which is sometimes really important for someone like me trying to take apart a motor who's never taken apart a motor before and really just doesn't have that person. And what am I going to do? Hire a person to teach me? No, of course not. I'm going to do take a course to do it? No, I mean, but there's just no comparison. There's no analog in history to the value created by just being able to pull your not go up to my laptop, which I've done that, but literally just like right where you're sitting, pull up your phone and have a video stream to your phone. It's incredible. It's like
Yeah.
it's Star Trek level sci-fi.
Yeah, and I guess what I'm saying is start, put don't just watch the video, put that into practical knowledge and start doing the thing now before you
Absolutely.
need to. Yeah, before prices go up and you got to figure it out. You know what I mean? Start getting whatever tools you're going to need now while prices are cheaper than they're going to be later, and start figuring out how to do it now before you actually have to do it. You know what I mean? And the same thing, like, okay, you're worried about the price of eggs or supply chains, problems with supply chains, get the chicken coop now while prices are cheaper than they would be if, egg prices go way up again. You know what I mean? Get that stuff set up now. And it's the same learning skills and building your own production or ammo. You know what I mean? Like, maybe you want to learn how to make your own ammo at home. Do that now. And that is just as valuable. Like if you're saving a bunch of money, if you're the type of person that buys ammo every month, do it yourself, and you're saving a ton of money by doing that. And you have the ability to produce, as long as you can get the casings in that and the powder, you can do that as nearly infinitely and for much cheaper. And that's that to me serves, it's a store of value in and of itself, but it's also a check against like supply chain hiccups where you literally just you can't get that thing, or maybe it's like, look, man, maybe you like to knit or sew or whatever the thing, like make your own clothes or socks or like whatever the thing. And that way, if like you're ever broke, you can, you've already got that skill. You can make some socks for yourself and maybe sell the extra pairs or whatever the thing and make it pay for itself. You know what I'm saying? So like, it doesn't just have to be food or skills. It could be a whole variety of things that I'm kind of imagining. And this would be, you're learning how to provide value to yourself and other people as a hedge against inflation is kind of what I'm saying. And so that might depend on you as an individual, what that kind of looks like. For me, that's a lot of food production and a lot of producing the things that we use day to day. And that saves us quite a bit of money. Sometimes it won't. Sometimes it's not going to save you money. It might be a wash. Um, Certain things that we make ourselves, it costs probably about the same when you start factoring in like materials and labor as it would be to just buy the thing. But the thing that we make is of higher quality, and we know what goes into that product. So that's the reason we do that. For example, like my wife, a couple of years back, she made penicillin like from scratch, and it was not cost effective. You can definitely buy penicillin cheaper at the store, but like she did it all from scratch. We know there's no like contaminants or anything like that. If it was ever hard to get penicillin, like we have the ability to do that. And so that's valuable to us in another sense, you know. But there's a lot of things that you can make yourself. The example I just used was laundry detergent, which is surprisingly cheap and easy to make. Um, you know, my wife can make like a 5 gallon bucket full of that stuff, full of laundry detergent for less than you can buy like a half gallon at the store. So, and it seems to be even better. And it's, you know, that it doesn't have all this other, like all these other unnecessary chemicals in it. But find your thing, whatever that thing is. You know, sure, I'm not telling you to stop buying Bitcoin or gold. Keep doing that for sure. But also, it doesn't hurt to, you know, be able to produce value yourself rather than buying someone else's value. Your thought?
I agree with it all. Yeah, I agree with that all. That's very well put. Actually, I'm very surprised that laundry detergent. I'm thinking in my head, how could you scale that up then? But I don't know. Laundry detergent is pretty bulky too.
Yeah, I mean, she makes it 5 gallons at a time, and which lasts us quite a while. 5 gallons of laundry detergent, and we have, you know, a family of 4, so that lasts us a while. And I don't have the exact figures, but I know she makes that for far less than you would buy like a jug of laundry detergent at the store.
Yeah,
So
especially the
that's,
name brand
you know,
stuff.
yeah, especially the name brand stuff. So that's saving, you know, it's not saving us a ton, but it's saving us quite a bit of money every month or so, you know. And that stuff, and it doesn't take very long, and that stuff adds up. So there's a ton of stuff like that you can do yourself that really isn't taking a whole bunch of time, and it'll save you quite a bit of money in the long term once you get your you know, a handle on it. And that's the kind of stuff, like I was talking about that investment opportunity before. That's the kind of stuff I'm going to teach people is things like that. Um, if you guys are interested in that cooperative situation, but um, yeah, that's just a thought I've been having, and you know, I rambled a long ways around, but I don't really have a concise way to like articulate what I'm saying. But I guess the simplest way is like there's other ways to produce value to combat inflation other than just, you know, investing in metals or some other currency, you know.
Yeah, that makes a whole lot of sense. Obviously, plus once you're like, so you know the economics of producing for your own family. I mean, there could be an opportunity cost if you like could be out there making money for whatever like business you're running. But I mean, basically, if you're consuming it yourself, it's not, you know, you don't have to worry about like exactly too much. You don't have to worry too much about the labor invested in or whatever. Just keep the costs low, and you're pretty much coming out ahead. You know. Now, obviously, if you wanted to go and start selling everyone detergent, damn, I don't know, man. You might be able to do that. You can have a whole nother
Right.
side
Then,
detergent business.
well, I mean, then you're making a little bit of money. You're basically getting your detergent for free at that point, you know, and you're covering your labor. So, you know,
It is like really expensive too. That's what's crazy about that.
yeah, and it's
You know,
surprisingly easy to make, and it doesn't take her that long to make it. You know what I mean? It's not that crazy.
make your own little
Some
pods.
things she does are much more complicated, and there is definitely a learning curve. But she's also a chemist. You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
she has the ability. But
for
everyone
those who
listening
didn't
to this
know.
has their own you know, special set of skills. You know, my wife's a chemist
Yeah.
and she's a stay-at-home mom, so that works out well for us. But um, you know, you might have something else that maybe you ride your bike to work or whatever the thing. Learn how to work on your own bike instead of sending it into the shop and save yourself. I don't know what a bike mechanic charges or whatever the thing, but you know, whatever the thing. I know you were doing this yourself when you were running your landscaping business. because you would call me and you would be like, hey, look, my machine's doing this. What do we do? And I'm like, here, check this, this, and this. And you were trying to do it yourself to save some money. And
Yeah, one time I succeeded actually. I
right.
mean, just persistence, and we changed the truck's brakes, and let's just say, like, look, we did not grow up like, we did not grow up with. I don't want to be too specific how I describe this. We did not grow up with those skills. It's a family oriented business, so we did not grow up with those skills necessarily. Like, I never trained the truck's brakes, but like, dude, I with the persistence, like, hey, it's not that easy. You can look at all the instructions you want, but sometimes there's ambiguity there, and to learn those things yourself. I mean, it's great to have a mentor or to help somebody out, and then watch them and then do it yourself. But to take the time to learn how to do something, and once you did like that, and after that initial investment, after that initial learning curve, um, then it pays off immensely, because you could, if it's something you're going to do again, then you can do it again and reproduce it again, and maybe something might come up the second or third or fifth time. But the first time is going to be this initial hump you have to get over before you realize, oh, that's how you do it, oh, that's what they mean and whatnot. So whether it comes
Yeah, yeah.
to
I
like
grew up. I grew up poor, so we didn't have the option of sending it in somewhere unless we really had to. And so a lot of times we would just figure it out ourselves and figure out how to make it work. I guess what I'm saying is try to get yourself in the poverty mindset before you're actually tight on money. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah,
you don't end up being tight on money. Because when you're poor, you have to figure out how to do these things yourselves, or cut corners, or not cut corners, but cut costs, and I make this kind of shit at home or whatever it is, and to save money. And I guess before you get to that point and inflation gets bad and your money's tight, act as if you're poor, and then you can figure out how to do a lot of these things yourself to save money. And then when if prices go way up again, which they're still up pretty high, but not quite as crazy, then you're already set. You don't even, it's not even a bump in the road for you now. You're like, oh, well, I mean, fuck, groceries just doubled. So I'm going to start making my laundry detergent that I learned how to make fucking 6 months ago. You know what I mean? Or whatever it is. Or fucking, well, I guess I'm doing my own brakes instead of paying somebody $150 or whatever it is to do them. I'm glad I learned, because people, and I do this too to some extent. It's like the more money you have, the more you're fine with paying somebody else to do that. But then you never really learn how to do it yourself. You know what I mean? Like, so, like if money is good for you, is good, like your money is good, you're comfortable. You're like, well, I'd rather pay somebody to do it than, um, I value my time, my free time, and I'd rather pay somebody to do it. Well, that might not always be the case. If fucking prices double, over the next 6 months, you might not have that as an option. So if you learn how to do that, or learn how to do that now, before shit is expensive, you're better off. And take this, home repairs too, or paying a plumber. Figure out how to do, fix basic stuff, so you save yourself having to call a plumber or an HVAC guy or whatever the thing is, if you can learn how to do at least simple things. And again, I'll go back to chickens again. If you wait till eggs are $8 a dozen, that means chicken coops are going to be expensive too, because everybody goes out and buys chickens when eggs are, $8 a dozen. But if you buy them when eggs are $1 a dozen, chicken coops are going to be much cheaper at that point, because not everybody's out buying fucking chickens. You buy low. So you get yourself a coop, or you buy the lumber, when lumber is cheap, and build it when lumber is cheap, rather than waiting for lumber to go through the roof again. And, you do these things when they're cheap, not when they're necessary, I guess. You know what I mean?
definitely. I mean, that makes total total sense, and that's basically supply and demand. And it's basically like got to be realistic, though. You got to know if you got to be. I guess you got to be judicious. You got to specialize in certain things. You can't. You definitely can't be a jack of all trades unless you got a family. There's 7 brothers. You can all learn how to do 3 or 4 different things. But no, I mean, most people you're going to have to say, hey, okay, let's do this, and this, and then we still outsource and trade for the rest of things. But make your decision. Know what your aptitude is, and know what you can just mentally bear doing. And like I said,
Yeah,
go
I mean,
over.
as much as I try, you can't do everything, right? But
Yeah,
you know, pick some things that would save you money in the long run that you think you'd be able to do, whatever that is.
and I mean, like I said, there's the initial investment of like learning how to do something. Whether you're learning how to do something with somebody or you are trying to figure it out yourself from instructions. Yeah, like changing brake rotors. Great example. It can be there's a difference between that first brake rotor, where there can be actually a hell. This is my experience. There can be a hell of a lot of confusion about that first brake rotor, and how to get that and the things stuck on there tight, and how to get the apply the force the right way and whatnot. And once you get that one, man, you're just eager to take all that knowledge because you just struggle with it, and you're going to take all that knowledge and get those other 3 done as fast as possible. That's the way I was, and I was like, damn, yeah, okay, that first one was tough, but then the next 3 were easy peasy.
Yeah, the first one's going to be slow, and then once you get it down, brakes are easy. Once you figure it out the first time. I'll tell you, I've been doing brakes since I was a kid, working with my father. But even I came across, I think it was a Ford Ranger. I was doing brakes for one of my friends or something. I was helping them with brakes, and for this particular thing, you had to take uh, the hub off and repack the wheel bearing just to um, change the rotor. So I'm looking at this thing, trying to figure out, and I didn't know that going into it. And I'm looking at this thing, I'm like, how does this fucking rotor come off? But then once I figured out, oh, you got to take the hub off and repack the wheel bearing, to take the wheel bearing out and repack it with grease and put all that back in. Once I figured that out, the next ones went pretty easy. It's still a giant pain in the ass to have to do it that way, but um, the first time you do it's going to suck. But
You know what?
once you figure to get one down, it's easy to do brakes after that, or whatever the thing is.
Changing skid steer trucks.
That's a bitch.
I
Yeah,
I
I've done it.
basically I basically I basically stopped working outdoors because I just threw my hands up like, dude, I can't do this. Sorry. I gave up. I've given up manual labor, honestly, because over that shit. That was so bad. It's
It
really,
definitely sucks.
yeah. I'm getting too old. I'm not trying to learn new skills. I was like, yeah, this is the last one. No, I'll still learn some skills, but not learning how to do skid steer tracks at my age, 38. I'm sorry. I doxed my age online. Yeah, no. Yep. So
You
I'll
just made
gotta
me
say,
think of
so
another thing. Like, so say you learn one of these skills and you start making some stuff at home or producing whatever. Hey, maybe this turns into a side hustle or another source of income for you. And then if you ever get downsized at your job or whatever the thing, um, you've got another source of income from this skill you just learned that was saving you money, and now is making you money. And
well,
you
yeah.
just never know how stuff takes off. I mean, my wife started just making stuff at home just to like make stuff for around the house, and then she started selling some of it online. And it's not like I'm going to retire off the money she makes, but it's another little source of some income, sporadic income that comes in, and it
There's not an
basically pays
opportunity
for
cost. It's really valuable because there's not an opportunity cost there.
what you mean. Oh,
I mean,
because
she's
she
not like
stays home already.
there's
Yeah.
nothing else she's going to be doing. She's already taking care of the kids. She's not like taking care of the kids less, I assume, by doing the other things. So
No, and honestly, they're homeschooled, right? So like, if you have a wife that homeschools the kids or whatever, this is a great idea for you because you can involve the kids in it and they're learning stuff too as you go. So like you're learning how to do this new thing and you got the kids kind of helping you and they're learning new stuff too. And it's, a great thing all around. Um, it gives
yeah, it's
them
awesome.
the knowledge. They learn how to make a new thing. They learn a little bit about, whatever chemistry or making food or whatever it is. And, so it has, for us personally, that kind of thing has like multiple benefits.
This
Um,
reminds
you
me
know,
of, and this might be interesting to your wife in particular. This reminds me of 10th grade chemistry and the fact that I still remember like things that I learned in 10th grade chemistry, like basic chemistry. Like you're not supposed to. How much of 10th grade chemistry are you going to retain? But yeah, I definitely learned some things in there that I still remember that still make a big difference for me, like how soap and detergent works and stuff like that. Like, oh yes, that's very crucial information. That'd be cool. Would have been cool to learn at a younger age too.
yeah, if people put together like practical chemistry, like things that you can do yourself that would benefit you, almost like chemistry slash home economics, I think that would be much better for young folks. Although you definitely have some people making like napalm and stuff. Like we definitely did that when I was a kid. But but for a lot of people, I think that would be really practical and beneficial. I don't know. But hey, we got to wrap
Yep.
this up before too long. Do you have anything else to add? Did I make any fucking sense at all? Um, what do you?
No, you made a lot. You made a lot, and yeah, like you mentioned, tough economic times and everything. I mean, I gotta say, like you mentioned with your business and everything. Yeah, if you are not absolutely slammed to the wall on like March, April, May, it's rough. So I've gotten into a very very different industry, in sales, but in a very different industry, and it's actually seasonal in exactly the same way. And boy, it's I am worse than unemployed right now. I am no income and I'm still working and I still have to work because of my pay structure. And it is just, I just think I'm probably on the leading edge of some major economic waves. So definitely, yeah, I'll figure it out as far as I'm concerned. Maybe I won't because we enter a recession, which I really hope not. Um, for the
I
sake of
kind of think we're
everyone.
already. I think we're already in a recession. They're just fudging the numbers, but
Well, that's very, very possibly true. Very possibly true. So I'm not too worried about it in the sense of you're in an economic downturn. I'm kind of see it. So I've put together the. I don't want to get too specific into the exact industry that I'm in because it's just not that helpful. But it's the effect we're in. I sell luxury goods and there is a trade-in cycle on these goods, and I gotta say, like there is a downstream effect. 4 years on, 4 or 5 years on from COVID, where for those couple of years, a lot of people got very leveraged into purchases that they paid a lot of money for. Now they're financially under freaking water. And what did it
yeah,
have to do? It had to do with the COVID bailouts and all the money pumped in the economy, blah, 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 blah. But,
yeah,
the funny thing about that, obviously, is that a lot of us needed so a lot of people were poised. What's funny about COVID in particular, for us, in terms of excuse me, in terms of an economic crisis, is that a lot of people were like in really serious danger of like, of economic, regardless of the illness and that kind of stuff, but people in danger of being in economic ruin or being in like privation or something, like not having a job, not having an income. And then there's people that were like had tons of disposable income, actually were doing incredible, never did better during COVID. And it was this it's just done so much to like the social fabric and the people's psychology and the economy of the consumer economy and just finance. I mean, just not that like it wasn't a thing that happened. I mean, I don't know the exact origins or what happened or why, if for any reason. But I'm just saying that the effects of that year and a half period or so are still having reverberations in our society. So I wouldn't be surprised. Long story short, I wouldn't be surprised if we were on for some turbulent times going forward. And that's like anything that you could have, hopefully, like if you're listening to this podcast, anything that any of this stuff that you've done or thought had some interest to, or been putting off and been planning on doing it, I think that could be tremendously useful in the future. Leveraging
Yeah, the perfect time
the
to do it was
knowledge.
yesterday. The next perfect time to do it is today. You know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah, and none
uh,
of this should
do
come
it.
to a surprise to you if you listen to this podcast. That's the
No,
last thing I'll
no,
say.
we're preaching to the choir here for sure. But um, yeah, well, I listen. I hope this was kind of insightful for our patrons. We're gonna I think we finally nailed down like a Saturday. It just means I got to stay up late, and I think we're gonna start trying to do more of these. Like we said we would. It's just been real hard with the schedule. So if anybody listening has any topics, any patrons that has any topics you'd like to hear us discuss for a patrons only episode, just let us know. But I think we can wrap it here unless you got something else.
No, yep. Thanks for tuning in, everyone.
All right, everyone, be excellent to each other, and we'll see you next time.
Ciao.
Peace.